What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuesday. It's December 10th. This is the 10th day of my 31-day series of how to establish or to prepare for your launch of your photography company in 2025. I wanted to start this video by saying thank you for the ones that watched my video yesterday. I was blown away on how many people viewed that video and actually watched all the way through. That meant a lot to me. When you put stuff out there, you don't know what it's going to attract. You don't know who's going to stay. You don't know who's going to watch it. So you just throw this stuff out there and see if it works. Apparently, a lot of people love my Marine Corps story. They love stories more than a lot of other stuff. So I wanted to thank you for that. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for helping me focus on this goal of getting better daily. And that goes with the topic for today, with goals. Once you crush a goal and what to do next. With goals, when you hit a goal, the first thing you want to do is you want to, relish the moment. You want to be like, hey, I broke this goal, I did this, and that's okay. But as you achieve that goal, you should already have had your next goal in mind. That's progress. That's taking that one goal that you just achieved and focus on the next one. It has to be continuous progress. You got to keep watering your goals. It's like a garden or a rose garden, whatever. Anything that you plant, you got to keep watering that, because the moment you stop, all your fruits go away. If it's a rose bush, if you don't go back and trim that rose bush, or once that rose blooms, then the rest of the plant starts to die. Or if you don't go in there and put pesticides and stuff like that, you start developing this nasty bush that, instead of it being beautiful, it turns into this big monster. So you got to keep watering that. You got to keep feeding that. And that's what I try to do. This morning, I broke two of my biggest goals that I had for myself this year in regards to SEO and building my website. I went in this morning. I track this stuff daily because it makes it easier for me. Instead of going in and tracking it in a week or at the end of 3 months, I track it daily because I can see the incremental growth. I can see it go up and go down, go up and go down, and I can instantly go and try to correct that. If I see I dropped on SEO words, I'm going to go in there and just sprinkle some more. So it's like a little constant daily battle, but it's building repetition for me instead of going back and checking it after the fact. If you check things after the fact, it makes this big gap. It's like cooking, when you're cooking, you're not going to just put it on the stove and then just leave it. You got to come back and watch it, because if you're cooking something like pasta or something, the moment you leave it for longer than 10 minutes, that pasta's stuck to the bottom of the pan. Or at least mine, it always gets stuck to the bottom unless I'm staying there and I'm stirring it. And that's how I like to think about business. The moment you stop investing into yourself, the moment you stop your progress or going back and just working on things, it doesn't have to be this huge workload. It is if you have a complete rebuild, but if you're going in there daily, then the work is not this huge monster of a giant that you have to go and try to fix. You go in there daily and you fix it. And that's what I like to do. Yeah, I rejoice in the goals. The goals that I hit this morning, I'm super stoked. I was so happy because it jumped up actually pretty good. But I know it's not a fake jump. I know it's a continuous thing that I've been fixing and working on. So I don't think it's going to drop off the next day. And that's another side of that. In SEO, as you're building, if you're going in there daily and you're working on it, or weekly, or however way you want to do it, if it's a continual growth, it's not going to just be one instant thing. Or building your social media. Like we talked before, some of these people buy these huge accounts that are either preset, with their own certain followers. You can go in there and buy an Instagram account with 10,000 followers and they'll sell it to you. Or you can go buy your followers. You can buy all these bots and fake names and stuff like that and boost your presence. But then when you go in and you deep dive into that Instagram account of that professional that you're following, you'll see that they have 100,000 followers, but they're getting like 5 to 10 views. The numbers don't add up. And that goes hand in hand with what we talked about yesterday about checking people's grass. You know, we all admire somebody else's grass and how it's green it is, but then the moment you get closer, you realize it's turf, or it wasn't invested into. Sometimes a lot of people will go and build these things and then it just starts to crumble on its own because they didn't build a solid foundation. There's a lot of apps out there to cheat. There's a lot of apps out there to give the appearance that you're some kind of social media god. But I like the small accounts. I like the accounts that are getting the views and it's not boosted. It's not, fabricated. It's not a huge marketing team behind that. It's them progressing with what they're doing, Those are always more fruitful than going in and trying to cut corners. There's no growth there because when you cut corners, you're missing on something. When you cut corners, you burn the pasta, But back on goals, I like to set daily goals. And they're small little goals. They're small little wins, but they add up to this huge picture that you get to see. The other day, I was speaking with a colleague of mine, and we went back and we looked at my rebuild of my website this whole past year. And you could tell when I fought it, because I fought hard. I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I want to get out there, like we say, be creative and go out there and do things and be part of what everybody else is doing. Everybody's busy and I had this downtime, and you start to build that, animosity or jealousy. You're like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. Everybody's booking it, I'm not. But going back to the chart, the first few months, you see this little bitty growth. And then the moment when I said, you know what, I'm going to work hard on this, you start seeing that chart just go bloop, 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 bloop. And it paints this 12-month picture of hard work. It paints a picture of a goal that you worked on daily to achieve. And I'm proud of myself for that. It took a lot of work. I'm proud of my friends that invested into me. I'm proud of the people that helped me get to where I'm at. And I'm starting to share that with people too. Coming on here and sharing those, how I achieved certain things. I'm not a guru, I'm not a god, like I said the other day, that know it all. I'm not. I'm only sharing what's worked for me. When you set a goal, like in the gym, that's hard. Like for me, that's real hard. The only way that you can tell that something's working, because you can't see it physically right away. It takes a lot of time. But the only way that you can tell is getting on that weight machine and seeing how much you weigh. That's a number that you could go by. But then you still look back and you're like, my pants still fit tight. I still got these little, more medium-sized love handles on my chest and this and that. So it starts to play with your mind. You're like, I'm not seeing any progress. I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything come through. And at that point, that's where you're on this tilt. You can either keep pushing forward it and trust the process, or you can just fall off and give up. And a lot of times we do the latter. We fall off and we give up and we try something new. We try different techniques. You'll see that in business a lot. You'll see the people that don't prepare for a season, or don't prepare for the future, or don't set goals out, months in advance, start to panic at the last minute. They're like, I got to drop my prices. People aren't booking. I got this amount of events. I got this and I got that. And then like, I'm going to create this. I'm going to give this away. And that's not what you want to do. You want to build. You got to trust the process. You got to go in and invest. You got to listen to people. I had a hard time. Now that I'm listening to people and I'm implementing what they're helping me with, I'm starting to see the fruits. Yeah, I don't have this huge garden and stuff like that, and I don't have like tons of bookings and stuff like that, but I'm seeing the interactions. Like these videos, when I first started, oh my God, I only had like 5 views. And I know people were looking at it and be like, oh, he's only got 5 views. Poor little kid. You know, I did that. I'm like, you know what? I had 5 people watch my videos. But now that yesterday was proof that if you keep working at something, it's going to build and it starts to show fruit. The video I put out yesterday, I was, like I said, I was floored on how many interactions I had and how many people actually watched it, and it's still being watched. And it wasn't my best stuff, if I have to be honest. A lot of these videos that I'm putting out is not the best stuff. It's stuff I'm putting out to grow, to be better in the future. But it's helping me be better because, you know, it's a slow growth. So I don't want to delay releasing something in January when I could build now. Why not build now for that big launch and I start doing a full length podcast? Polish a turd, you know, you can't polish one. You got to fix everything internally before you release it. I would hate to release videos in January and not have any views. So, and this establishes who I am. You're learning a little bit more about me. You're learning more about my personality. I'm learning more about myself. I'm speaking better. I'm trying to hold attention. I still got a sticky note up here where to look at. Sometimes I'll look off to the right, but it's okay. At least I'm not delaying a release. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for intention. And that's how it's going to be with your photography business. You're not going to get everything right. You're not going to get everything to be perfect. There's always going to be little flaws and stuff like that. But if you focus on the long-term goal, you focus on, hey, I'm building my community. Hey, I'm doing something. I'm building this, I guess, platform. When you do release, you'll be able to achieve those goals a lot easier than just giving up on yourself. On that vision board, I hope you took that tip yesterday and you created a vision board. I have my vision board and I have my goal board. I have my tracking form. Build those things. Put as much stuff in front of you so that when you are faced with any kind of negativity, you have this stuff that you can bounce back on. Put so much positivity in front of you that anybody that's negative just falls off. The more you build yourself, the more you focus on your own growth, nothing can touch you. Yeah, some stuff people are going to say is going to hurt you. It's going to sting. But at least you're stronger. At least you can sustain what they say. Or you can fight back and be like, oh yeah, well, you think my videos suck? Well, look at this. You think my photos suck? You think it's dumb thing to do to put out this type of stuff? Look at the interactions. Oh, you don't believe in that type of social media? Look at the interactions I have here. You don't have to prove everything to everybody, but it's always great to have a foundation that you could show back and be like, well, you think this, well, here you go. This is what you can do. And those that don't come along with you, that's okay too. The ones that don't want to make any kind of changes or adapt to things, that's fine. We all run our own race. It's our own marathon. If they want to sprint ahead, let them sprint ahead. You just keep going slow. Keep going there. Like I said, I want to thank you for being on here with me. Thank you for coming here daily. I know you guys got a lot of other stuff in your life to do. That's my show for today. My tips for today. Don't just keep celebrating a growth or a goal crushed. Or crushing a goal, whatever you want to say. Don't focus so much on that way that you don't focus on your next goal. Crush the goal and keep focusing, keep pushing forward. So on that note, I'm done for today. I didn't want to make it a long one because I got a lot of work to do today. So thank you for your time and we'll see you tomorrow. Deuces.